Well, hello again from St Mary's. Now I've got two rival videos recording in the vicinity. The first one, there they are down there, Ant and Deck, Liam Kennedy and Jordan Cronin of Newcastle World. And then over my shoulder up there as well, an American guy who's sending the report back to the States. But to be honest with you, he's so loud, I don't think he needs the connection. You could probably hear him on the West Coast. But so yes, I'm having to wander away just for sound quality, all that. Before we go any further, again, my match report from tonight's game, 1-0 victory for Newcastle, is in the description below, so please click on it and have a read. So yeah, here we are inside a cold and misty St Mary's Stadium that was absolutely red hot during that second half there. My wife, who isn't a football fan, has sent me a message watching one of my boys and was saying, wow, that was explosive, and it was. What a finish it was. I mean, not that I had my head up. I've explained to you the tradecraft of this before, haven't I? You know, in the second half on these night games, particularly 8 o'clock games as well, you know, we've got steam coming out of our laptops just as well, given the temperatures. you need all the warmth you can get. But what a lot to unpack from that. And you know, the headline news: Newcastle are 1-0 winners. Joe Linton's goal, and they're now 90 minutes away from a first Wembley appearance. And I'm having to do my maths here. First Wembley appearance since that semi-final back in 2000 with Sir Bobby Robson. So where to start really? Well, it probably is the second half and the moments leading up to Newcastle's goal, because before Alexander Isak and Alan St-Maximin come on, I'll be honest, that felt from the press box as if it was heading for a Newcastle defeat. Now, should you ever say that with Nick Pope in goal? You know, will he ever concede a goal, or do you just, you know, should the first line of your report just be Southampton 0, take that as read, and then work from there? Because again, he's had to save them, and that is now 16 hours without conceding a goal, 10 straight clean sheets, and all the talk in the press conference room there with Eddie Howe and even with Nathan Jones was about Nick Pope, the goalkeeper. And you know, Bruno Guimaraes has just called him the best keeper in the world right now, and I, for one, I'm not going to disagree with Bruno Guimaraes on many things. I certainly won't disagree with him on that. You know, Pope was absolutely tremendous, but it does come back to the point that, you know, that goal over my shoulder there, you know, Southampton were in the ascendancy, and I was beginning to shape my report, you know, working around the probable likelihood of Newcastle going back up to Tyneside next Tuesday, having to reverse what felt like probably a 1-0 defeat. That's the way it was heading. Then they go up the other end, and yeah, Alexander Isak. Now, when he first came in, you know, he played those 3 games, and I didn't judge him, but I had an opinion, and I thought he looked like someone who might take a little while to adjust to this division in this country. Well, the last couple of games when he's come off the bench, and I've said this in previous videos, I think he's been very good. Eddie Howe called his contribution exceptional tonight, and it changed the game. It swung the match in Newcastle's favour. That coupled with Alan St-Maximin on the left flank as well. And I said this in the preview video, didn't I? I just thought the time was right to introduce them two from the start. I just think the way St-Maximin just pulls players and defences in different directions, and when you have gone a little bit stale in attack, and Newcastle have, undoubtedly they have, you know, this for the large part was headed for potentially a 4th goalless draw in 5 games, is it? You know, my maths might fail me there, but you know, the 7th goalless draw of the season it might have been. And while that would have been a good result, of course, going back in the second leg, nonetheless they are blunted a little bit in front of goal now. And Callum Wilson, you know, I think I'm prepared to commit to it now. I think he is struggling at the moment, and I would take him out of the team. You know, what do? Do you leave him in the team to build fitness, or do you take him out to give him a rest? I don't quite know the answer to that, and that's why Eddie Howe is manager, and it's one he's got to work out. So, but yeah, Isak now is pushing for inclusion from the start. The way he burned by the defender there on the right wing and putting on a plate for Joe Linton, who couldn't miss. Saying he couldn't miss, he did, from exactly the same patch of grass 20 minutes earlier. Quite how he put that one over the bar, but it was 3rd time lucky for him, because of course in the goal over there, you know, at the end of the first half he'd had the one disallowed as well, hadn't he? And you know, in the press boxes, my American friend is gone now, so I can walk towards the press box with a fair degree of confidence that he's not going to interrupt this broadcast. But we couldn't really decide between us, and we had replays all over the place. We couldn't decide whether Joe Linton had handled the ball. So to that end, VAR is right to stick with the referee's call, referee's decision, umpire's call. I called it. If you can't find evidence of Stuart Atwell getting the decision wrong, you've probably got to stick with his original decision. And now, for me, do I think it was a handball? I probably don't know, looking at the various replays, but because it is inconclusive, you've probably got that the goal has got to be disallowed. But that was unfortunate. Again, Adam Armstrong in the same goal. He scores a late goal, what we think is a late goal for Southampton. Now, I think his celebration betrayed the fact that he knew it hit his hand. And again, that one was definitely rightly ruled out. Newcastle got a little bit fortunate there, but they've been fortunate to this point. The cup run, they've had a favourable draw. They've gone through one, the penalty shootout at home. And Nick Pope again, that man was brilliant, wasn't he? And just to come back to him, he's just tremendous. He is, he just looks unbeatable. There was almost this aura around him. When Che Adams goes through on goal, I'm sat with my colleague Adrian Kajumba, and I just nudge him and say, Pope will save this, and he does save it. The Adams second chance a couple of minutes later, I didn't quite have the same time to make my prediction because it was such a snapshot, but that proves the speed of Pope's reactions as well. We didn't see that chance coming, and he gets down at the bottom post there, and just what a tremendous save. And Newcastle started well, went massively off the boil, I thought, for a period, but in that time when they needed the goalkeeper, he was there. They came again, and like I said, they won it thanks to a confident finish from Joe Linton. But that goal owed absolutely everything to Alexander Isaac, and on we go back up to Tyneside now. Now, you've waited 6 hours. You've waited 6 hours. That would be a good video, wouldn't it? You've waited 6 minutes and 40 seconds, and I haven't mentioned transfers. Now, I'm going to now. So earlier on today, on the train down, as ever, because it's January, you can't just sit back and read the newspapers. You've got to be on your phone. You've got to be checking things. And one thing that information that came across my door was that Newcastle are now, quote, I wrote the story earlier, in formal talks with Everton over a move for Anthony Gordon. I'll put the link to this story as well in the description. Now, my information earlier today was that while a deal was not necessarily close, an agreement was not necessarily close, Everton, I'm told, are asking for silly money, which is in the region of, I think, £60 million. I think Newcastle would perhaps do a deal at somewhere closer to maybe, different sources are suggesting, 25 plus £50 million in add-ons. I haven't had those numbers, confirmed by either club, on the record, but I think that's the sort of ballpark we're talking. Now, he is, at this time, Anthony Gordon, I would say, from all the information I have, absolutely their number one target, and I would expect things to accelerate over the course of the next 24, 36 hours in terms of Newcastle and Everton perhaps coming closer on a price, and then maybe we'll see some movement on Gordon. But Eddie Howe does like him. At 21-year-old, he sees someone who he can improve. He sees someone with a lot of the attributes that he wants in his players in terms of that aggression, that spikiness, that ability to press. And he proved last season he has got a real eye for goal as well. He has got that little bit of class in and around the penalty area. Gone massively off it this season to the point whereby he's found himself out of the Everton team when they desperately need good players. So yeah, it really seems to have split the fan base, doesn't it, in terms of, is this a good move, is this a bad move? Myself, as a sort of independent journalistic observer, well, I've got my reservations, but at the same time, you guys know what I think of Eddie Howe, and if he believes that is the player he can bring in and improve, and is what Newcastle United need, well, yeah, I probably would be fully behind that. So yeah, the latest info I have is that, I think we're approaching sort of all systems go on Anthony Gordon at Newcastle, and stay tuned on to the Daily Mail, Mail Online, Mail Plus for all the latest news in that regard. I did ask Eddie Howe, he refused to answer questions on Anthony Gordon, but I did say to him, okay, Eddie, you're not going to talk about Anthony Gordon. Are you any closer to signing a football player, as he so eloquently put it yesterday, which did draw a little bit more of an elaborate answer. He said he hadn't checked his phone yet, which for me did betray the fact that he's probably waiting for news on that phone. So yeah, that shows that something is active. So yeah, that's it on transfers, on what has been another eventful day for Newcastle. And yeah, back we go now to the hotel for a quick drink, reflecting on things of what has been, like I say, another another busy 24 hours in the life of a Newcastle United reporter. It's never dull, it's good fun, and you know, it's just getting better and better at the moment, isn't it? It looks as if now, yeah, I shouldn't say it really, should I? But you know, with Nick Pope in that form and Newcastle playing the way they are at St James's Park, they probably are headed for Wembley. So yeah, I shouldn't have said that, should I? But yeah, okay, take care guys, thank you very much for watching. Please click on the links below, and I'll be back yeah, sometime next week ahead of the Southampton game. Okay, take care, bye bye.